There are a lot of different reasons for dividing your perennials. You want a new one, a friend wants one of a special variety that you have that you can't find anywhere else, the quality of the plant has started to decline and the flowers are not as good. All of those are great reasons to divide your perennials. One of the general rules is, when is a good time? It's not totally infallible, but if you're not sure, if something blooms before July 1st, then it's spring blooming and you can divide it in the fall. If it blooms after that, July, if it's a summer or fall bloomer, by all means go ahead and wait until spring, and you can do it as soon as it starts emerging from the ground. It's very simple, it needn't be difficult, it needn't be challenging. I've already dug this daylily and this gold-stern Rudbeckia or brown-eyed Susan out of the ground for you, so we can take a look at this. You don't need to be fancy. I like the old kitchen knife that I don't use very often. Dig the plant up, and with the daylily, you really want to have probably 3 or 4 what we call fans, because each one of these segments will produce a flowering stem next year. So as I said, you don't have to be dainty, you don't have to be too careful about it. Just take your knife and slice right on through there, make a nice clean cut, and voila, what was one plant, you now have 2. If this was a really rare plant and you had more reason or more friends that wanted some, you could go ahead and divide it yet again. So you could end up with 4 or 5 plants from this one daylily. So don't worry about being too cautious with them or too careful with them. You do probably, in a situation like this, you do want to probably break up those roots a little bit so they come in good contact with the soil. Now these Rudbeckias or brown-eyed Susans, it's pretty much the same thing. You have a big clump, you can either cut them back a little bit, or you can just pull them apart and look and see where there are logical segments to divide. And again, it's a matter of getting it out of the ground, taking your knife, and just cutting right through. So here you have a nice cake-shaped wedge to replant in the ground. On something like the daylilies, I would be tempted, because of the loss of root system, you may want to reduce the stress on your plant by taking the leaves like this and taking your pruners and just cutting back that leaf surface. If you have a little bit less leaf surface, the plants will come through the winter for you a little bit better. So by all means, go ahead and think about transplanting perennials in the fall. It's a great time to do it, and just like your trees and shrubs, as long as the soil temperatures are above 40 degrees, the plants have plenty of time to be making root growth and establishing themselves for a great perennial garden next spring.